I do enjoy the coming of age genre. It's a great mix of emotional growth, self discovery, and the ups and downs of life.
I love the coming of age genre. It's probably my most watched genre as well.
I enjoy movies with fresh elements rather than those rebellious teens who set out on dangerous adventures, get themselves in serious potential, life threatening situations, realize their mistakes, and then it's just a cliche happy ending.
I do enjoy watching coming of age movies. It's definitely one of my favorite genres.
When I was younger, I loved them, but now I just like some of them which have a nice plot.
I do enjoy the genre, even though it is mishandled in some cases, but it is an interesting genre.
I don't really enjoy coming of age movies. Like the person who like sort of looks from behind and not really is like included in everything.
My favorite type of character in a coming of age movie is probably the character who's struggling the most or the one who I relate to the most.
The type of character who's self-sufficient or feminist, but is not like a pick me, like somebody who's resourceful, finds their own path and everything.
My favorite character would be the elder siblings who always try to do what is best for their siblings.
My favorite type of character in these are definitely the ones that bring everyone together, or they're usually like helping the main characters develop their personalities throughout the movies.
I really like the characters who are a bit misunderstood or struggling to find themselves but go through a big transformation.
There's an older character who guides the main character through rebellion while also protecting them from serious harm and life threatening situations.
I have watched uh, Turning Red and Boyhood, which are two of my favorite movies currently.
Yes, I have watched quite a few coming of age movies, such as Tall Girl, which once again I feel like is a very poorly written movie and poorly executed movie. It just could have been done a lot better.
Enola Holmes, does that count as a coming of age movie?
I have watched a lot of coming of age movies. One of my favorites is Lady Bird. My favorite part about Lady Bird was that she had to leave everything behind eventually, and coming back to it, she realized it wasn't all that terrible. But she realized that everything she had going on was she appreciated it in the end.
It was probably the sad ending when like something happens in the end and which affects like the whole group.
The just the dynamic and the good theme and stories of each movie, I like them the most.
They don't have any dramatic plot twists, and they don't have a lot of characters, and there isn't like a lot of action going on, but they just like capture raw emotion, and they're usually very simple.
Favorite part of them would probably be the fact that they each told like different stories, but they still had like the common overall themes of like, coming of age, like youth, hardship, trauma, etc., etc.
My favorite part is always the moment when the character has that breakthrough, whether it's about understanding themselves, their friends, or their place in the world. Adds a lot of weight and emotional depth. It can really shake things up in terms of themes about life and loss, but it also brings a rawness that you don't always see in coming of age stories.
Personally, I think like just with movies in general, killing off a character, there has to be a reason. Like it has to progress the story. Otherwise, I feel like it's just adding sadness in for the sake of adding sadness in.
It avoids those cliche happy endings, such as those videos on Darman.
Potentially dying is an interesting concept, but like it should be handled in a very mature way. I would personally think that when they do grow up, when they do reach the point of the movie where they accept it, if they then die, then it is acceptable. But like a lot of movies make them die early on.
My thoughts on the main character potentially dying are okay. Oh, I would be very sad, but if it had to happen for the plot, I'd be fine with it. Like I'd accept it eventually. It would be hard on me though.
I do really like when the a side character which is like really close to the main character, probably their love interest dies, which then like affects the main character a lot, which like changes their lives.
I think the movie I watched with the main character died was The Fault in Our Stars, And at that time, that was very sad. I am really sad when the main character dies, but I feel like sometimes it gives like more weightage to the story.
My thoughts on the main character potentially dying, I don't mind it. I think it actually helps, and it basically shows that there aren't all you're not always gonna have a good end.